Tram, I'm such a huge fan of yours. So I want to start by asking you about the street that you grew up on. Where was it?
So the first street was Pepper Tree Drive,
Oh, that
in
just sounds like spicy and fun
right?
and
Yeah,
childlike. Pepper Tree Drive.
Pepper Tree Drive, and it
Yeah.
just yeah, lots of neighbors that we could play with. And then the
Yeah.
second street was Stone Mill Road. So when my family immigrated here from Vietnam, we didn't have anything. Probably like any stereotypical immigrant family. I think there were like 20 of us under one roof.
Uh-huh.
And it was tight and packed, but it was joyful, right? Like the family was so tight and close. My younger sister and I shared a bedroom with my parents. And we lived at the end of this cul-de-sac, and there were so many kids our age in the neighborhood that we would run around and like not come home for hours playing like freeze tag, and started bike clubs, and it was a really great street to grow up on.
How did you know? When did you know you wanted to go into advocacy work?
In seventh grade, my English teacher asked us all to pick a topic that was controversial and to research that topic, write a paper, but then also present it in front of the classroom. I chose abortion as my topic, right? And like talked about, the women's right to choose and how like limiting abortion access had like created all of these problems. And I remember just standing in front of the classroom and presenting it, and you could hear a pin drop. And I
Huh.
looked over at my teacher, and her facial expression was, I mean, I can't even describe it. But I knew in that moment that that was the right thing to do, right? To,
Mm.
to sort of bring up an issue that was truly controversial and to provide a perspective that may not have been popular in that setting, but needed to be heard. And I think that was the first,
How? How did you know that, Tram?
because it agitated people. And the work that we do, right, to make progress also requires agitation.
But why
Because
weren't you afraid of that agitation? Why didn't you sense the pin drop as like, oh, I've done something wrong?
I, well, I probably felt that too. But I also was like, huh, see, I didn't choose my controversial topic as whether or not our track needed to be repaved, which was,
Ah.
typical of, a lot of the controversies that students in my middle school faced. Like,
Oh, you
so
felt your power in that moment.
yeah, I think I felt my power in that moment that like I chose something that made you all think.
That dream of agitating in order to make the world a better place. Do you feel that coming to pass in your life today? Do you see sort of the dream of that potential unfolding in your life and in your work?
The work that I'm engaged in today and the work that our organization does is it's constantly about that agitation. Again, it goes back to making sure that our voices can authentically be heard. And, we don't, I think it's really important. You can compromise on policy solutions. You can compromise on outcomes around like that are a result of some of these policy solutions. But we don't ever compromise on our values. And because we don't compromise on our values, right, sometimes it does agitate people. It's like, well, why can't you all just, let it
Keep your
go,
head down, keep
right?
your head
Keep your
down and
head
focus
down.
on your grades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Why can't you
Mhm.
just keep your head down and let it go? It's not going to pass right now. You don't have the votes. I mean, we hear that constantly, and I constantly have to push back and say, we're not going to let it go because that's what the community needs. Otherwise, if we're
Yes.
just content, then we're accepting a status quo that's not working for us. It's not working for our communities. It's not working for Black and Brown people, and we have to agitate all the
Oh,
time.
I'm so grateful for you and for your
I'm
work
grateful
and
for
for your
you.
friendship. Really.
Creating all
Thank
of these
you.
spaces for us. Thank you, seriously, Kerry. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.